This is RTV6 News at 6.
Never thought I would be living in my car, but due to circumstances beyond my control, that's what's happened.
She's a college graduate with a master's degree in chemistry. So why is she living in her car?
Rebecca Lampkin is trapped in government red tape while living in her car now for months with her cat. Her fight to get her help among the thousands across the country.
Call 6 Investigates' Rafael Sanchez got to work in search of results and joins us live. Rafael?
Erica and Jason, Rebecca Lampkin's story, we've been working on that now for a couple of weeks. Her story exposed a much bigger problem beyond a woman who's living between the lines.
Nobody ever bothers me.
For many, Rebecca Lampkin is invisible. Despite the heavy traffic along US 36 in Avon, no one notices the woman living in the lot. This is your neighborhood,
right? This is where I live. I just live in this parking lot. It's not something that I'm proud of. I'm just trying to survive. And I do whatever I have to do in order to survive.
Rebecca has been unable to work for months. She has several documented health issues. When her partner died in June, she did not have the money to keep up with the rent and faced eviction. That means, since October the 21st, Rebecca has called the Meyer parking lot home. She lives in the front half of her vehicle. Her cat Smokey roams in the back seat. Her trunk is her closet.
I can't work. If I could, I would be. I don't like doing this. I never wanted to apply for disability. But I have to, because I cannot work.
We met Rebecca on January the 30th. The ice coating her vehicle.
This is all the blankets.
She keeps plenty of comforters to keep warm. She washes up with the Meyer bathroom and gets her medicines at the store pharmacy and spends a lot of time at the nearby library. This is not right.
No, this isn't right. I shouldn't be doing this.
We're going to fix this.
Okay.
To get help, Rebecca, who has a master's degree in chemistry, applied for Social Security disability insurance. To get it, you have to prove you are unable to work or have a condition expected to end in death.
I would prefer to be working. I'm used to taking care of myself. I'm not used to being in this situation.
The 56-year-old began the process of seeking disability back in November 2015. Between March and October 2016, she's been dealing with 2 denials and an appeal. In November, Rebecca's doctor at St. Vincent Hospital provided an official write-up detailing her inability to work. Her case further delayed when she asked for an in-person hearing versus a video hearing.
I don't understand. There are a number of people that really don't need it, that get it right away. And then there's other people like myself that they put through hell in order to get it. And I'm tired of it.
And tonight we can report some results. She's no longer living between the lines. In fact, she received an emergency payment that is allowing her to stay at a local motel. She expects to get an apartment, Jason and Erica, in about 2 or 3 days.
Some great news there, Rafael. Bigger picture now, just how big of a problem is this across the country?
Well, Jason, let's take a look at the numbers because the Social Security Administration is very frank about the numbers. They say when it comes to the appeals process, the wait times could be over 560 days, which means that for someone in Indianapolis who was waiting on an appeal, today they would have to wait till the fall of 2019 to get that appeal done. We should also point out that contributing to this problem is the aging population. The Social Security Administration, though, has implemented a plan it calls the CARES Plan, which is focused on reducing those wait times. We'll see how that plan is implemented, and we'll keep you updated on that, and we'll bring you Rebecca's updated story in the next couple of days. Jason?
Tonight, thousands of cars on area roads have open recalls on them. Call 6 Investigates finds they're driving with defects that are unnoticed and unfixed, potentially putting you and your family in harm's way. Call 6 Investigates Kara Kinney working for you with what you need to do to protect yourself.
We're here in this busy shopping center parking lot handing out these cards we made up that explain how to tell if your vehicle has an unfixed recall. The numbers aren't pretty. 1 out of every 4 cars on the road has an unfixed recall. And when we headed out into this parking lot, we were shocked by what we found.
Nope, on that.
On a very windy spring day,
XZJ.
Call 6 Investigates is running down recalls.
Hi.
Here's what we did, and you can do it too. Using the free My Carfax app, we plug in license plates and up pop unfixed recalls, some potentially dangerous defects.
Did you know you had an open recall on your vehicle?
No, I did not.
Dana Bernard's Honda CR-V has 2 open recalls for Takata airbag inflator problems.
Have you gotten any recall notices or anything?
No, I have not.
Many people simply don't know. It's easy to skip over a postcard or an email.
Were you aware that you have an open recall on your vehicle?
No.
Sherry Spencer's car has an unfixed shift lever that can increase the risk of crashing.
Do you know you have an open recall on your vehicle?
Honestly, I can't remember. It's been a while. It was like, I think I got it during the time it was winter time and I didn't have time to go get it done. So I know that's bad.
She's not alone. This mom told me she hasn't gotten the recall on her minivan fixed because she doesn't have time. Workers at Ed Martin Automotive say it's a misconception that getting a recall fixed will take forever. A technician fixed this door panel recall in under 5 minutes.
And put the screws back in. It's as simple as that.
Another misconception is getting your recall fixed will cost you money.
And it costs you nothing to do that.
Manufacturers have to provide you with a fix for free. The problem, according to Ed Martin's general manager, Todd Rieselman, is when consumers get a recall notice, but the fix is not available just yet. Todd recommends calling your dealer before bringing it in.
We can look up the VIN and tell them, yeah, go, let's schedule, let's bring it in because we can fix it, or, hey, it's just a notice. It's not available yet, so that people aren't wasting their time.
Did you know you have an open recall on your vehicle?
When we asked Michael Sutz about his airbag recall, he knew about it. He's just waiting on the fix.
They're working on getting the airbags.
According to J.D. Power, more than 600,000 cars in Indiana sold in the last 3 years have open recalls on them. Bottom line is, not every recall is life-threatening, but many are dangerous defects, and that's why it's important to address an open recall on your vehicle.
We put these together for you. Okay. And it actually shows what you need to do if you've got a recall on your vehicle. Okay. Well, thank you very much.
We handed out cards and high fives in the hopes of helping you hit the road safely.
Hopefully you can get it taken care of. Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Checking a recall is fast and free. Just go to safercar.gov and put in your VIN. You can also go to the My Carfax app and put in your license plate. Now, if a recall pops up, just contact your dealer or the manufacturer and see if you need to bring your car in. Reporting from Avon, I'm Call 6 Investigates, Kara Kenny.
Erica, it's because the cell phone companies don't necessarily transmit that location data from your phone to the 911 center here, and that means if you can't talk or don't know where you are, dispatchers may not be able to send help to the right place.
911, the case of your emergency.
In an emergency, seconds can mean the difference between life and death. But what happens when you don't know the answer to that key question?
Case of your emergency.
Or can't talk?
For us in here, us not knowing location's bad.
If you're calling from a cell phone, it can be even harder for dispatchers to pinpoint your location.
Cell phone calls are hit and miss.
We headed out in the city with the Marion County Sheriff's Office to put the system to the test.
911, where's the location of your emergency?
Hi, this is Lieutenant Wolf, Sheriff 60, doing a test call.
At each location, we used 2 different phones to call 911. Our first test was right downtown.
I have you on a phase 1. I'm updating you now to a phase 2.
Each 911 call from a cell phone comes in as a phase 1 call, showing up as just a phone number and an approximate location based on the cell tower. Only a phase 2 call can pinpoint a location. The dispatcher can try to upgrade the call to a phase 2 call, but it doesn't always work, and there's no rhyme or reason.
And on phase 2, you're showing at 38 East Washington.
38 East Washington. Wonderful. Thank you for your help.
Our second 911 call from downtown also hit right at the address that we were sitting. But at our second test location at Rhodius Park, it was a different story.
609 Oliver Avenue, cell tower.
That's across the interstate. Our second call wasn't any better.
1 mile. 1 mile west of here.
And that was with a phase 2.
Said it was a phase 2 call.
Our third test location was in the 2800 block of Jackson Street.
where's the location of your emergency?
Our first call was nowhere close.
737 Ketchum Street is 1.3 miles.
But our second call...
I have you at 2829 Jackson Street.
Perfect. It was right on the money.
So far, 3 for 3. For our final test, we headed to the basement of the 911 center.
911, where's the location of your emergency?
But both calls from there weren't anywhere close.
1215 Southeastern, so just about due south of here. Probably the closest cell tower.
Out of our 8 test calls, only 3 gave 911 dispatchers our actual location. So why doesn't it always work?
None of the cell phone carriers are required to provide that service yet.
While 911 centers across the state and the country are left hanging in the balance.
The first thing that's asked is, what is the location of your emergency? So even if you know a place name, say the park that you're at in the park building, or the closest intersection, or a store name, things like that all help police, fire, EMS to locate you.
So the equipment in this room can receive that location data. It's just up to the cell phone companies to make sure they're providing it. We've reached out to them. They say they are working on it as quickly as possible, but experts in the field say it could be years before we actually see it in use. Reporting live tonight, I'm Call 6 Investigates, Paris Lubell.
Tonight, Call 6 Investigates is working for you and getting results for a woman trying to get back $5,000. Her checkbook was stolen and the crook went on a check cashing spree. Call 6 Chief Investigator Rafael Sanchez is live with the details. Rafael?
Erica, good evening. So where do you keep your checkbook? If it's in the closet in a lockbox, then I'm going to tell you that that's a safe place. That's a good thing to happen. But what if you keep your check maybe in the kitchen, in an open space for all to see? Then that would be bad. And when it comes to banks, private information that you make public, they may not cover your losses. We have another check for $135.
Yes.
We have another check for $835.
Yes.
We have another check for, is it the same one?
Well, no, 1,400.
We have a check for $857.
Yes.
Yeah. We have a check for $1,350.
Yes.
Van Ha was at a loss. She kept her checkbook out of sight in her home. But someone named Ricardo Willis got her book and started writing checks for all kinds of amounts and draining her account of $5,000 between October and November. Who is Ricardo Willis? Do you know him?
I don't know him.
He got your checks.
Yeah, but I don't know why he get my check.
Call 6 has no idea where Ricardo is, but Van was counting on Chase to help recover the stolen money. The bank first had to review the request and make sure that Van had kept her end of the bargain, that her checkbook was not accessible to a stranger. In fact, her bank disclosure statement in part warns customers to protect your checks. Failing to do so means the bank will not be responsible for any losses that may result.
This has been a really difficult time. I think it's been really difficult because I wasn't aware of any of this until last week when I met with the bank manager. My mom told me she was just really embarrassed. These checks were in her office at her home. She keeps her home locked. She doesn't know how this person got a hold of her checks.
Her claim for a refund was initially slow going. We reached out to Chase Bank and asked for help. Once the bank could confirm that Van's home was burglarized, she was refunded the $5,000 stolen from her account. Van is grateful for the resolution, and she has a message for that crook.
Trả tiền lại tôi.
What does that mean?
Mean you have to get me my money back.
And Chase did give the money back. The crook did not, of course. Chase giving us a statement tonight, and here it is. It reads, "We're happy to have resolved this matter for the customer. We now understand that her home was burglarized, which wasn't clear in the initial claim. We apologize for causing her frustration." We should point out that every bank has their own account disclosure statement on how you should handle your checks. Take a look at that, and also take a look at your bank's anti-ID theft programs. That way you can sign up for those programs and be alerted when there's a problem with your account. Erica?
All right, just glad to see she got her money back. Thank you, Rafael.